Hey everybody, Graz here, GKBC, with the book review of my final, well, not final, I guess Gone with the Wind is still coming, but The City on Fire, which was one of the big supersized summer big book challenge books I read this year in summer, and over a book over 800 pages. I did 5 of them over the summer, and this was one of them. And I've been doing reviews for each of them, and for some reason I've just kind of been putting this off. So, first off, I have some news. My dad got to come home today. He had 4 blood clot procedures this week, and I guess came through pretty solid. He's shaky on his pins, so to speak, but he is moving around on his own for the most part. He ate a solid meal tonight with us, and tonight he gets to sleep in his own bed. So I figured I would do my review of this. And then a little announcement. Sunday, because this is actually Friday night, Saturday morning for me. And this is going to go out eventually. My phone uploads slow. And then Sunday I'm going to do Comic Book Sunday. And then Tuesday I'm going to do the final part of Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. But throughout all of that, starting tomorrow, which is Saturday, I just recently did a 24-hour reading challenge where I read for 24 hours straight. I made it 22 hours with a little break in the middle for dinner. But I'm going to do it a different way this week. I usually do both ways just to see. This starting Saturday and just going until I get it done, I'm going to do the timer method, which is I set a timer for 24 hours, and while I'm reading, I run it. If I'm not reading, I don't run it. And then at the end, we see how I do. The last time I did this, I did 2,300 something in 24 hours. So, well, anyway, let's get on to City on Fire by Garth Risk Hallberg. By the way, just to date myself a little bit, this right here is Elle Macpherson on the swimsuit edition. I think this is 1988. This is when I not totally started noticing girls, but really close. I was in 8th grade. Anyway, this is City on Fire by Garth Risk Hallberg. It is 858 pages, and it was published in 2015. And this cover is done, or was conceived by Chip Kidd. What a name. Chip Kidd. Sounds awesome. Anyway, I'm going to do my traditional, for me, ups and downs, or downs and ups. And then I'll give you the Goodreads information and my rating. So I'm going to do my downs first. Number 1, it took a very long time. I'm talking like 200 plus pages to get into what the book was actually about. And I mean, it just, I was sitting there going, man, can this just, I don't know what this is about. There's maybe 5 storylines in here, and it could have been about all of them. And I guess technically it ended up being about all of them, but they all wound together in one nice little bow. Number 2, there was a lot of unimportant parts that dragged on a long way. It's hard to explain unless you've read it. All I can say is Hallberg at points does his best Alan Moore impression. Number 3, some of the important parts end up leaving too much to the imagination. I mean, give us our explanations. Like the main bad guys, so to speak, or one of the main bad guys, just disappears into the night. Okay, what happened to him? I mean, anyway. Number 4, and this one's going to be controversial, whatever. But as you know, if you pay attention to me, I don't like it. I don't care about anything. Let me rephrase that. It's hard to explain. obviously the other lifestyles and the choices people make and all of that are a part of our society, and I'm fine with that. Not that it matters if I'm fine with it. I'm just saying it's not something that bugs me, but it bugs me when I'm reading something or watching something or whatever, and you can kind of tell that the creator of that work, such as it is just forcing the he's ticking the boxes, he or she. In this case, such as the case, maybe in this case it's he, and this guy he ticks. He does a little too much ticking for my taste. It feels forced and not natural, if that means anything. Yep, pitchforks in the yard. Um, and number 5. Okay, I'm not a dumb guy, although my last little explanation there might make some people think that I am. Uh, I know, about New York City, but at times it feels like this author just assumes that whoever's reading this book knows all about it. Where all the boroughs are, where all the little neighborhoods are, where the streets are. And it gets annoying because I actually had to refer to a map a couple of times, and I don't want to have to do that. I mean, if you're going to do that to me, then put a map in here. Books with maps are awesome. Give me a map, dude. I'm going to leave that like that because I'm going to open this. And look at that, the fireworks. Because this book ends on January 1st on the or December 31st, heading into January 1st on the bicentennial. That's my downs. Not too bad, I guess. The ups, the characters are the ups. Mostly for me, Charlie and Sam. Most of the book, I was like, what's going to happen with Sam? What's going on with Sam? Is Charlie gonna be the White Knight? I mean, riding in on the big stallion with saving the day. Number 2, I really loved how just by getting a new lead singer, the punk band that's kind of at the heart of this turns into a terrorism squad where they're blowing crap up and killing people and stalking, and it's amazing. Number 3, it's the brilliance of the format. And as you can tell, a lot of it is regular book. But then you get something like this, which is a handwritten letter. And then, let's see if I can find it. Like this. This is really cool. Sam, one of the characters, obviously, writes a magazine or zine, whatever, and it gives you an entire issue of it. It's so cool, and it's like written like she's writing it and drawing it. It's really awesome. And then there's another part back here, which I thought was cool. I mean, this is like a form you fill out at a doctor's office, and then it's like the doctor's notes. It's like a psychiatrist or whatever. And then a little bit further on, we get page after page with coffee stains. Those are actually in the book of a police report. This book is set up really cool. I'll just kind of lay this back over here so you can look at that. Number 4 of my ups, the poignant final moment between Sam and her dad. Her dad is like an old school in charge of fireworks and stuff, and he's of the school where he lights them by hand, and obviously because the companies get them bigger and bigger and more, they're going to a computer where you push a button and it lights them all at once and stuff. And so he's really beaten down in his thing, and so their final moment together is, well, it's poignant, and it'll draw a tear to your eye if you have any sort of a heart. And then, excuse me, the daughter of the main family, and this looks like a cutaway, but it's not. But anyway, there's a main family at the heart of this. It's rich and everything. And the daughter of that family, basically the heir apparent, is named Reagan. And she is very strong and impressive. But at the same time, she shows her vulnerability at her true self, or in her true self. It was inspired and beautiful in a written character, and I really enjoyed that. That was really well done. So that's my ups and downs for City on Fire. Now the numbers. For Goodreads, this had a 3.40 out of 5, and that's across 14,771 ratings and 2,403 reviews. I personally gave it an 8.56 out of 10, which, if you go by the Goodreads rating, is a 4.28 out of 10. Very good. Very, very good. So if you've read this and you want to talk about it, let's do it. If I've helped you decide to read it, great. Tell me. Or vice versa. I don't care. Let's talk about this book. Or if you want to just talk about Elle Macpherson, let's talk about Elle Macpherson. I'm just playing. Anyway, or am I? Until next time, read more.